We got the voice of instrumental harsh reality, man. That's all it is. Let's do. What's up, everybody? We are back on another episode of Ruthless and Harp Show, and my co-host Jay Harp II is back once again. What's up, my guy?
What up, Ruthless? What's going on?
What's going on, man? Let's get on to that topic, man. The 53-man roster. Let's get on to that. But first, before we get to that, I know this was late news, but let's get on to the Trey Lance topic before we get onto that roster talk, man.
Okay.
So what was your reaction when we made that trade, man? I know that was a little bit off, right?
I mean, yeah, it was a little off just for like the team, you know, the team that he went to, and you don't expect them to trade somebody who could potentially, we don't know what he could be. He potentially could be somebody special. So I didn't expect for them to trade him to the Cowboys out of all teams. But I felt like it was something that needed to be done on, you know, for both parties. You know, Trey needs a fresh start. You could just tell how much he was just down, right? He just didn't seem happy, like that bubbly Trey. So he definitely needed a trade. And I think Kyle and the Niners, they were done with him. For whatever reason, I mean, I don't know, but for whatever reason, they were done with him. So it was best that, you know, they mutually go for a trade.
I mean, if it was the case, man, but we'll see what happens, man. I'm just not really convinced with Sam Darnold. That's the thing. I don't know what they see in Sam Darnold, and I don't get it, but I guess they want to go with no issues, and plus Trey does cost a little more in cap space, I guess. But
yeah,
what's the whole about? I mean, I get that they want to move on. They want to make everything good on both sides, and it was just it is what it is, you know. It was like the situation where I just didn't see this coming, and then when I heard about it, this was my reaction when I found out about this. Damn. Like, man, like what the heck? Like that was just a weird trade, but you give up for a 4th round? Okay, I guess. Yeah. But you know what? Since we're on to what's going on with the rosters, man, let's discuss the 53-man roster. I know that's something we got to talk about, but which player? I mean, what do you thought of the overall roster, man?
It was what I was expecting. I mean, there was a few changes on the back end that, you know, I wasn't expecting. Like it was a surprise. You know, your dude Braden Willis made the team, and I don't know if that's because Latu was hurt, but Latu didn't really prove or show anything. So it was what I was expecting. You know, it was pretty straightforward. I feel like a lot of there was some players that maybe could have, you know, passed along the waivers, like, you know, keeping Brandon out. Like I didn't understand that. You know, keeping Brandon Allen where you know, we just saw, you know, the New England Patriots get both of their quarterbacks back on waivers, you know, and was able to sign them to the practice squad. So it was little things like that. But hey, I mean, I trust the Niners. You know, they've done a good job of having talent and, you know, roster construction and things like that outside of this whole little Trey Lance thing. So hey, they know what they're doing, and so I'm not gonna make a big deal out of it.
Yeah, we can't question the moves, whether it's unpopular or not. But, like, it seemed obvious the way they had the roster set up. There was just quite a few players that I just didn't expect to make the team. But we'll get to that very later. But, you know, I get that you want to keep 3 quarterbacks. But I don't think anybody was going to claim Brendan Allen off waivers. I don't think so. Because if Bailey Zappi got past the waiver wires and got back to the Patriots practice squad, we could have at least tried to like keep Jamison on the roster at least. But that one was a bit caught. That was somebody I kind of had a feeling that if we did cut him, there was going to be a team that was going to take him. So that really kind of shocked me a little bit. Like,
no, and I agree, and that's why I was like, you keep Brandon Allen on the roster where I think you can find another number 3. I know it's different because he spent like their whole training camp summer with them, so he knows the offense and things like that. But again, it does take away some of the younger talent that you brought along through camp and who seem kind of like they could be some depth pieces, like you said, Jamison, his return ability and things like that. And then Manning, he put on a show on film against the Broncos. And that could have been a developmental piece, but it's nothing to cry about. We don't know what these dudes are going to be. They might end up being something special, and it'll be a loss on the Niners. But again, we've seen the Niners throughout the regime here, make the right moves, and I'm not going to let this whole Trey Lance situation just like let me forget that. So I trust the Niners. Their team is still stacked. I mean, as far as depth, I don't know, but from the top to the middle, like they're stacked, right? They have some of the best position players on their team in the NFL. So I'm not too concerned, but yeah, it would have been fun to keep Jamison around and maybe Manning just to see what they can become.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. But, like, as far as surprise cuts, I would have thought Marlon Davidson made a strong case, but he got cut. And then T.Y. McGill, despite how he played, I thought he was a little bit better than Kinlaw. So, it's surprising that I seen that guy cut because I would have thought maybe those guys would have made a strong case over Kinlaw, but they're really trying to hold on to Kinlaw. I think Kinlaw's days are over by next year, I'm thinking,
Yeah, it's tough, man. Like, I agree with you, right? I agree with you 100%. But it's like Kinlaw, he'll show this freak athleticism, strength type of play, and then the next play he's just getting choked and thrown out the club and things like that. So it's like, I don't know. Can somebody tap into his potential where he can be a decent role player? Or I think that's what they're hoping for. Like maybe something will click where. I think he's past the stage where we're thinking, he can be the next Buckner or something like that. We're past that stage. He's not going to be. Yeah, he's not going to be anything like that. But as far as like a depth piece, maybe like a rotational piece, he does show flashes. But that bad, when you see bad on that film, it's really bad. So I don't know. Maybe they think they can tap into something. But we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't get why. Like, since they already moved on from Trey, I would have been fine with them cutting their losses with Kinlaw at this point. Like, you don't need to have a guy that's not really consistent. Like if you want to keep Marlon Davidson, at least he showed some flashes as a run stopper. I mean, T.Y. McGill, I kind of like what I've seen from him. At least you could have kept those guys. I would have been fine with Kinlaw being gone, but maybe they just couldn't find a trade suitor for this because if they cut him, they still have to pay the remaining of what he was owed. So that wouldn't be smart on our move. So
yeah, I
think keeping him on the roster is just because they had to be forced to keep him, or else they would have been planning on cutting him already.
Yeah, it's something, and I was joking with one of my buddies earlier. Like it's good to see that they do value some positions that they want to develop. So, they think they can develop him into something. I don't know what it is, but hey, at least they value development and on their roster. So
yeah,
even though they don't the quarterback position.
Oh yeah. Oh, you know what, man? Since we're gonna go on this, since we were kind of criticizing certain players on the offseason about the roster, man, let's go on to the players we were wrong about from the get-go because we said they weren't gonna make the team. So I'm gonna give you my 5 players that I felt wrong about. Avery Thomas is definitely number 1 because I just didn't see no point of him making the team. But for whatever reason, it shocks me that he still makes the roster. So it's kind of like, man, we could have kept Jamison over this guy. But the fact that he made the roster, he did shock me for that part. Let's see. Dwelly, man. Ross Dwelly, how many? He's like the Dante Johnson of the tight end position. How many damn times is he going to make the roster? He should have been a free agent. We should have let him walk. But no, we got to keep him. It's like, come on, man. This is why we drafted 2 tight ends for. But the other one's better. I mean, it's just funny. But I guess that's 2 right there.
Yeah.
So then if I'm going to go on number 3, it's going to be a good one. Javon Kinlaw, come on, man. I'm done with this guy. I'm done with him. Kinlaw, you're already like, I'm done with you, man.
Mm.
You don't got no potential no more. You're inconsistent. I've seen enough of you. Let's see. Another guy that I expected to be cut is still on the roster, and I was saying he won't even make the team. But, at first I just wasn't sure because it was pretty stacked. So I'll give my flowers, and I actually been giving this guy a lot of praise lately since the preseason. So I'm going to say Ronnie Bell gets his due because we actually did say we don't know if he'll make the roster. Right. He kind of showed the flashes. So that's why I'm not putting him at the high spot because I feel like I wasn't being too down on him. I said he got potential. Maybe he'll make it on the practice squad, which I was wrong about. So that's number 4. And then the last one that I wasn't really sure about, man, it just really catches me by surprise. But Charlie Warner, are you serious? This is a blocking specialist guy. These are the 2 tight end scrubs that I thought they were going to be gone.
Yeah.
But they're here. Like you're next on yours, man. Those are
100% agree with you, man. Like Ambry Thomas, he shocked me, right? I thought this was the year Ambry Thomas was, he was on thin ice and he showed some things. He showed some things in the preseason games. Again, I wasn't at all of the practices or anything, but he showed stuff at the joint practices that I was able to attend, and then he did show things on film. So, I was definitely wrong about him, and I'm glad I was wrong about him because I think we need a position and for him to step up at corner, right? I do still think that Womack will be a better player if he's not already. Womack I really like him, and I think that once Demo slides in on nickel downs, I think eventually as the season goes on, I think Womack will take over that starting position when they go nickel. 2, who was I wrong about? Kinlaw. Was I wrong about Kinlaw?
He's still on the roster. Last I checked.
Yeah, and I mean I don't think I remember me saying he'll get cut, but
you weren't high on him.
I wasn't high on him. But he's still here. He's still the same type of player that I thought. Maybe he shows a little bit more flashes, like he'll blow up a run, and then the next thing he'll create this big hole, and then he'll bull rush on a passing down, and then next thing he's just not doing anything, right? So he's up and down. I will admit, I guess I was wrong about him. So
there's quite a few. Yeah, Kinlaw's definitely up there for sure because we wrote him off. Every time it was an easy write-off. I mean, there's got to be a third option you got in mind.
No, yeah, for sure. Definitely Ross Dwelly.
That's an easy target.
Yeah, I thought Dwelly was done, but hey, what we've come to see, if Shanahan likes a player, they find their way on the roster, right? So yeah, him, Ross Dwelly, and Warner. I thought the two rookie tight ends would take those 2 spots, but they ended up keeping 4. 4, right?
Yeah, they kept 4.
They kept 4.
Yeah, Latu's on IR for the entire.
So really 3.
I would have preferred Fumagalli over Dwelly at this.
Yeah, I would have definitely. I thought Fumagalli had the best camp at the tight end position.
Warner can be a blocking specialist. It's not like we need him to catch the ball, but Dwelly, we've seen enough. But there's another surprising player that I even forgot to throw out there too that kind of caught my attention. But I thought you were going to bring him up at first, but then the name just kind of comes up to my head now. I just remember I was hoping you were going to mention this player's name, but it just slipped on my head now. Like I was thinking of a player that we had no faith in at first, but now he just made the team, and it's kind of ridiculous how this dude just keeps making the roster. It's like Ty Davis Price just made the roster. That was the guy I wrote off to. Can we put honorable mention Ty Davis Price?
Yeah, you can do that. Ty Davis Price again. Like he was running hard. Like he was really running hard during preseason games. He just really needs to work on his pass blocking. Like that was scary. That was scary out there. His pass blocking was terrible. It was terrible. So yeah, I mean, I can see why he made the team because the depth, and Elijah Mitchell is always getting hurt, and so you'll need him eventually. Hopefully,
I would have thought the undrafted rookie running back would have beat him out, but nope, they got rid of that guy, so that was a surprise. So
yeah, that's crazy. I'll add one more. I was kind of down on Willis just because I wasn't seeing him play a lot, so I was kind of down on him. Like, maybe Shanahan showing us something again. Maybe Willis isn't going to make the team, and he might, hit the practice squad, but he made the team. So, and I'm happy because I know you're a big Willis guy. But
okay, let me hear this again.
Yeah,
you actually wrote him off?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I wrote him off because due to his play, not due to his play, but due to Shanahan not playing him a lot in preseason and him being like the last tight end off the bench.
Oh, yeah. It kind of made sense because of the snaps and not enough. But dude, the fact that you wrote him off, I gotta put a damn moment, bro.
No, but yeah, I'm glad. I know you're happy. I'm glad he made the team, and I hope he gets some run, right? That second receiving type tight end.
I mean, I guess he was like your last written off. I guess I can understand that part. Yeah. But man, I didn't even see you wrote him off at the beginning. But I guess it was the snaps because he wasn't getting enough snaps. But the fact that he did make the roster, that was exactly my point. Like, he needed to get more reps. 5 players were right about making the roster. You go first. I already got the ones locked in my head already.
So Danny Gray won, right? He was one. He had a good camp from what I've been reading. I didn't get to see him practice much out here or play in the games, but he has something that none of the other receivers have, and that's that deep threat ability. Not the deep threat ability, but that long speed and ability to just take the top off. So that's one, and I'm happy they held on to him. 2, who else was?
I mean, there was quite a few guys you were talking about, but you were like so high on one of them.
D Winters.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
My guy. He made the team, and he was another one where I just wasn't sure he was going to make the team just because of the snaps he wasn't getting. And he was just like the last linebacker, off the bench to play in preseason. So D Winters, Danny Gray, who else? I wasn't sure.
I mean, there was quite a few guys that you had on your list, like quite a few guys in the secondary. I think you had quite a few dudes that you thought were going to make the team.
I knew Womack was going to make the team. I knew that was a given.
But okay, so it's a given for him. Okay, so which one did you had a feeling he was going to make the roster?
Nah, I feel like I can't remember. I can't remember. I'll let you go because.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess you only got one to go with. All right. So the surprise one, the ones that I had a feeling would make the team. Jalen Graham, I felt like he was going to make the team. I guess Braden Willis, number 2. Let's see, cornerback wise, I think there was a cornerback I already knew that was going to make the team, but Darrell Luter was going to be placed on IR anyways. I don't even with him not playing, they were going to expect to keep him on the roster anyway. Yeah. So that's
probably like their way of redshirting. They do that a lot.
Yeah, I guess I can take off the redshirt player. Yeah. Okay, I'll take off the redshirt player off the list. As far as a guy that I already had a feeling was going to make the roster was Khalil Davis. I had a feeling he was because what I've seen in the offseason and what he's done in the preseason, it was pretty obvious why they didn't even decide to keep T.Y. McGill and those other guys. So they like what they've seen, so he's a lock. So that's 3 that I had a feeling for. I guess D. Winters was just a guy that had the flashes. I've seen a lot of potential. And Khalil Farrell, I had a feeling he was going to make the team because of the way he can step in and develop. So those are easy my 5 guys.
Yeah. You know who also I was wrong about?
What were you wrong about?
I was wrong about Ronnie Gray or Ronnie Bell.
Yeah, we were writing him off because he said, we think he might just be on the practice squad because this receiver's jam. Remember like months ago? I remember. We were writing him off.
And I don't know. Maybe it was because of the receivers we had in the room. I don't know. Maybe he might not have made the roster if Ray McLeod was healthy. But he still made noise in the preseason. So I wasn't high on him coming out of college. Like his route running and just like his natural like receiving skills. but he's a monster with the ball in his hand. So, and that's what the Niners love. So, yeah, I would say he was a player that I was definitely wrong about. He proved me wrong. He balled out.
Okay, but we're talking about like players you were right about making.
Yeah, I just had to bring that up. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, you can like I already had a feeling. I mean, Ronnie Bell was pretty much like the one guy we wrote off easily because of the 7th-round spot. But I guess as far as the one you were right about, man, like I guess you were right about the kicker, right? Nah. Hey, he made the list. But
he made it on. That's okay.
Maybe I'll assist you and see if you agree on these players. Okay, the one player that you were right about. I guess, like you said, it has to be somebody that you were pretty high on. I guess you can go with Graham and Winter, right? I mean, Graham also.
Yeah, I was Graham and Winters. I definitely thought they both were going to make it. And yeah, Graham took off. Like I think he's going to be a really good middle linebacker. You know, as time goes on.
Yeah, I think as far as he's developed, he'll be all right.
Yeah.
Trying to think of another guy you were thinking. I mean, there was another guy we kept on the roster, but it's like kind of slips. Oh, I think you were high on Flanagan Foles, right? No.
Well, I don't think so. I didn't think any of those linebackers separated themselves. I think they're all pretty good. Like McCrary Ball and those dudes. I think they're all pretty good, but I don't think any one of them like separated themselves from the pack.
So as far as that, so I got you. So you got 3 of the guys that you were right about. Let's see. I got to help you with somebody that you got in mind, like the one guy. So what's I guess since he's your boy, I'll go with John Feliciano for this one, because you did say he would be a lock as the back.
Yeah, no, definitely. Especially with his experience and you know, he's played a lot of football in this league. So no, I definitely think he was a lock. I think he can go in and, you know, give you some quality snaps if you need it at center or both guard positions. So yeah, I definitely knew Fleece will make the roster. I definitely did.
That was, I guess I had to throw that one out there because it seemed like an obvious choice for you. So
yeah,
I guess maybe something just keeps slipping on your head a little bit. So maybe you might have to.
Maybe I'll come back to it.
It'll come back to it, but I'm pretty sure when it slips in, we'll get to that. But hey, what's up, Corey? Let's say hello to the chat. Daniel Berry Sports. Hey, Butterfly. Hey, Corey Davis. How's it going? Salute to everybody. You know what? I don't know what the expectations going to be, but they're already putting their money on Brock Purdy, man. So the media just seems to give this guy some hype, and then there's a little bit down on Brock Purdy. So,
I'm like, I love Brock, right? But what is he going to be? We've seen 6 really good starts up and down. Like, yes, we won the games, but he did have some up plays. He had some down plays, right? But I think if he plays like he played last year, this team could definitely still go to the Super Bowl. He definitely should be starting. Never once thought that Trey should start over him just due to what he did in the games. But no, I love Brock. But like, what's his ceiling, right?
What's his ceiling? I think his ceiling is pretty much that, because we just saw what he was. It's just the difference was the defense didn't have no film on the kid. So I'm not writing off Brock Purdy. I'm hoping the guy makes a great story and becomes one of the most successful picks in NFL history. I hope that it erases the mistakes by Shanahan, because I would hate to see this happen with the team, because if Shanahan cannot get this team in the playoffs this year, he's going to be on the hot seat. And I don't think Jed York's going to put up with it for too long, because they made too many how many decisions does this need to happen?
Yeah. Let me ask you this. So what do you think? What do you think about this? Like, say Brock Purdy does become a really, really good, successful quarterback in this league, right? The top 15. I mean, I would say that's around his ceiling, like top 15. But Trey Lance also becomes a really good superstar in this league. Do you think that saves him from any type of scrutiny, or what do you think? What do you think about that? What if that happens?
Okay, here's how this can erase it for Shanahan. Win the Super Bowl. Brock Purdy can be in the top 15. Trey Lance can be in the top 5 for all we care. But if he doesn't win one, then I guess in a way, if Shanahan wins a Super Bowl, I guess that can erase the doubt, but maybe the little doubt. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, yeah. So that's interesting. I didn't even think about it like that.
No,
they can both become successful. We don't know what either one of them is going to be.
I mean, Brock Purdy could be a top 15, but if Trey Lance one day becomes a really top quarterback, then that's definitely on Shanahan for that mistake. But if Brock Purdy turns out to be good and actually wins as a Super Bowl, then is anybody going to judge Shanahan at this point?
Not with a win Super Bowl. It don't matter. It doesn't matter what type of player Trey Lance is, but we win a Super Bowl.
It erases the doubt on Shanahan a little bit, but here's what it can happen for Shanahan. If he comes on top with Brock Purdy as the starting quarterback, Shanahan's going to get the most credit for this because he doesn't want a superstar quarterback. Aaron Rodgers was going to push him and tell him how he's going to call his shots. Jimmy eventually thought he was too good, so he wanted to call his own shots. So I don't think any other superstar quarterback would love to work with Shanahan because Shanahan is a micromanagement, but Brock Purdy is the kind of guy that's going to say, "Yes, sir, I'll do the play, sir."
Yeah, and I just think like that Jimmy G, Brock Purdy type of quarterback. I would say Brock Purdy is a bit different than Jimmy G because he's mobile. I mean, he can move around. So, but I think that he wants that, get the ball out quick, get the ball into your playmakers' hands. Quick, accurate throws to that way they can catch it on the run and things like that. I don't think he really wants a strong arm quarterback. I don't know, and that gets me thinking like whose choice really was it to draft?
It has to be John Lynch or Adam Peters, one of those guys.
Yeah. So it's like some disconnect there.
Yeah, it has to be one of the disconnected guys out there because I don't think Shanahan ever thought of a quarterback like this because he's always looked at quarterbacks as average arm throwing quarterbacks. Like, dude, why would he pick somebody like Brian Hoyer over Kaepernick? That just tells you his type of taste of quarterbacks. Yeah. So it's pretty obvious. Like when you think about it, does Shanahan really care about franchise quarterbacks as much? Like he'd rather be calling the shows than actually letting that quarterback call the shots because I'd rather have an alpha quarterback that would tell Shanahan, hey, that play ain't going to work. Let me do this shit. It's going to work this way.
Yeah. That
actually does do well for most coaches in the NFL, but for some of them that don't want to be challenged, those are the ones that don't have a long career. Like some of them don't have a long coaching career because they don't like to be challenged by their own quarterback. So that's just how the cookie crumbles. I just don't think Shanahan is up for that challenge. He's okay with the DC challenging them, but why not have your quarterback give you a challenge and let you know if the play works or not? I rather prefer an honest quarterback than someone that says yes, sir. Come on, man.
And I think that's a little bit what Jimmy G was alluding to. Like, I don't know. I don't think Jimmy G really is too fond of Shanahan.
No, his play calling was too much dictating. Like he's too much of a dictator. Like not in a bad way, but you kind of feel like, man, dude, Kyle, you got to let your quarterback call his shots, man. You know what I mean? It's just unfair. It's unfair to think of it that way. Like when you think about how Kyle calls the plays, bro, it's brilliant at times, but there's times where he's very unpredictable. You're like, what the heck?
Yeah, I mean, if we keep winning, we're winning, but he does have to win the big one. But if he keeps winning, I don't think we're gonna have anything to say about him. No.
I just wish there was a player on the sideline that just calls up Shanahan and says, "Hey, this is not gonna work. Why are you gonna keep running this play? It does not work. Stop." That's what I would say. But he keeps doing it. I'm like, okay, dude, are you thinking it's going to work because it worked on Madden? Yeah, but there's a lot of drama outside of the Niners. There's a Nick Bosa news. I'm hearing a lot of buzz about Nick Bosa. There's a possibility that there can be a contract within the next few days. If that's what you're asking for, Corey, I'm hearing the news that there's a possibility in the next few days that a Nick Bosa contract should be done. According to Jason Dumas, I guess from sources, he got sources that he knows, and I guess he has credibility from inside the Bay Area that he's heard a lot of stuff going on right there. So what's your thoughts of it?
Man, hurry up and get him in into practice, get him around the team, get him a few live reps, going full speed, get him in actual game shape, even though he probably is in game shape, but yeah, pay him.
Pay the man.
He changes the defense. He makes his defense a top 5 for sure. Top 5 defense.
But he's demanding top dollars. I'm hoping he takes a little less than Donald, because then that would be good for us. But if he takes more than Donald, that's going to pretty much put us in the top of the cap space issues.
Yeah, he won't. He's not taking less. I mean, and he deserves a lot. But yeah, they're not going to trade him. I think they love Bosa. So
yeah,
you got to pay him if you want him. You got to pay him what he wants.
Yeah. So when you heard about that report from Reddix, man, I just don't know what to believe. Like, I guess they said something about the McCaffrey trade happened and this, and they reported this before this was going to happen. Mm-hmm. And then I guess somebody debunked this. Albright debunked those people. And I guess we're kind of getting concerned about the contract. And I'm like, man, the Nick Bosa deal was kind of like, we ain't worried about it. And then weeks later, it's starting to become a concern. So I started making a little blank check of him on there, man. Just give him a blank check. Let him sign his contract and get it over with. And I think the reason why this is going to hold up for a while is because Parat Marate is just not a typical deal breaker at times. Like, he's a low balling contract guy. He wants to make sure we're not suffering financially, but at some point you got to cough it up, my guy.
Yeah, I mean, after Nick Bosa won Defensive Player of the Year, he did it in dominating fashion too. Like, he's a beast out there, right? Mm-hmm. Like, why? You're gonna have to pay him top dollars, unless he's. I don't know. Unless he's asking for something outrageous. Like, no, he's gonna be the highest paid defensive player in history, right? That's what I think. And so give it to him, right? Get him in here as earlier rather than later. Now I think this is creating a problem and a buzz around the Niners. I know they said Trey Lance. The thing with Trey Lance is creating a problem and a distraction around the 49ers. But I think this is creating a distraction as well. And I'm not going to put this on Bosa, because Bosa deserves to get what he played for and what he showed he deserves, right? So pay him.
Yeah, we got to pay the guy. And to be honest with you, it is going to linger into a distraction until he shows up. So, you might question a little bit on the front office and all that stuff, man. Like, it's definitely on their reputation. Like, I guess at times we do take some chances on some signing players, and then sometimes we try to lowball a little bit here and there. But the comparison of what they're saying between Buckner and Bosa is completely different. Like, you had to choose between two other guys. You don't have that option. You have to pay Bosa, or else it is what it is. Like, we're already in the progress of making a contract happen. It's just, I guess when you're comparing the difference between DeForest Buckner's situation, there was two guys that were going to be free agents at that point, and Buckner was on his fifth-year option, but Armstead was somebody they were going to just sign for the cheaper deal compared to what Buckner was. So that's why they chose Armstead, or else they would have went with Buckner. But with somebody who's going to be taking a friendly deal and actually help your team, I guess. But was I really okay with the Armstead signing at that point? No, because I felt like he was unproven. He only had one breakout season. Buckner gave you consistency compared to him, but it was a business decision. This time it's different because Bosa is his own person. There's no other option for the Niners to choose. They can't just choose another DN because the other DN's on a rookie deal. So,
yeah, and he's not Bosa, so
yeah, got to pay the man or trade the man. I hope it's not trade the man, but it's possible.
That would be breaking news, and that would be that'd be a big distraction.
It'll be a suicide watch from the Bay, man, if we have to see this happen. But
that happens. Sure. Hot seat for Kyle. If that happens.
Kyle's got to be on the hot seat. We don't make the playoffs that year. Oh, you got to go.
Rebuild something crazy.
Come on, man. But as far as expectations, okay, since we're going with, I just didn't understand why you want to keep the other quarterback, but I don't see no ceiling with Sam Darnold. Like, if it came down to Brock being hurt for a while, did you even trust Sam Darnold for a couple of games?
It's a tricky question because no, I don't trust him. But with this team, I guess you throw him out there and just you gotta really put Darnold in a bubble. Like, you can't have him out there trying to create, and that's when the turnovers come up. So you'll really have to baby Darnold, give him this basic game plan. Like, really, so I don't trust him. I don't think he should be the second quarterback. He hasn't shown nothing. He hasn't proven nothing. But Kyle sees something in him, so that's why he's quarterback too. I don't know. And
I don't know.
I wasn't there at every single practice, like other content creators or reporters or beat writers were. But I have yet to see somebody say that Darnold actually beat out Trey. And
yeah.
And I just don't whatever. Like, I just hope Purdy stays healthy, because I don't trust him.
Well, half that Niners on Twitter disagree with you, Josh. They disagree with you. How dare you question their intelligence? How dare you? Darnold's the best damn thrower in the world, guys. He beat Trey. He couldn't even beat Brandon Allen. That's what they said in the Twitter world.
I don't think, did he beat out Baker Mayfield?
Oh my God. Yeah, Darnold. No. They said Darnold was unfair in Carolina, but he won games. That's all they look at. But they said Brandon Allen beat Trey. Okay, I'm done with you guys. That's what they say on Twitter, bro. It's funny. A lot of these guys are defending on Darnold and say, yeah, he's better than Trey. Like, dude, it wasn't even that close of a comparison. This is what Shanahan did. Shanahan just said, you know what? We don't want Trey no more. We want to get rid of this issue. Let's be honest. Trey would have already won the number 2 job as it is. He already showed enough. I didn't see enough from Darnold, so it kind of seemed like a sabotage move, because if it was competition, it's pretty obvious Trey would have won the damn number 2 job easily.
Yeah, I mean, again, I wasn't there, but what I saw, I thought Darnold was really like the number 3 quarterback, it felt like, and what I seen just the eye test. And again, I think Purdy should have started.
Yeah.
Just because of what he did. But to me, it just didn't look like any other quarterbacks really separated themselves from each other. But the top 2 was definitely Purdy and Trey. But it like you said, I don't think it was a real competition with Trey, the number 2 quarterback. I think they really wrote him off. I think they were done with him, and that's fine. If you don't think he's going to be something, fine. But at least let him get some chances on the field, right? But yeah, they were done with him.
Yeah, they were done with him, because if it was competition, then you already know that Trey already beat out Sam Darnold. Not even that close, bro. It wasn't even close of a contest. Like, it seemed Shanahan was kind of looking pretty bad. He's like, okay, I might need to trade him now, because this is going to make me look bad. And then when he said that Darnold looked better, that was a joke. That was laughable.
Yeah. He loves Darnold.
Yeah, how's Darnold any better? It's like, if you look at the way they completed in training camp, there was nothing close. And it's just so laughable to even go there, but that's either here or then. And I thought Brandon Allen was going to go back and work at Walmart, man. Damn that guy. He keeps collecting paychecks. He should be going back to Walmart, man. He was playing at Arkansas. He should go work over there, man. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know. So that's what I think it was. Like, Brandon Allen was already slated to be QB3. I don't think they had
practice squad candidate.
Yeah, I don't think they had any intentions on putting Trey at QB3. I think they the whole time they planned on getting Trey out of there, letting Darnold be QB2 or QB1, because I think Kyle Shanahan really likes Darnold and the way he can possibly run his offense. I guess, like, he hasn't showed anything with the other 10 teams he was with, but I don't know.
No. This is what it seemed like with Shanahan. This is what he did. Yeah, I like what I got here. These guys, dude, what is so special about Brandon Allen? I'm going to give you his resume of his NFL. Okay, he's only had this amount of starts, and when he played in Cincinnati when Joe Burrow was injured, he only won maybe 2 games or maybe barely that amount, and they were 5 wins that year when Joe Burrow tore his ACL.
Yeah.
So he wasn't that good, so I don't get what they see in this guy. Sam Darnold, how many chances does Sam Darnold need? This seems like a Josh Rosen just staying too longer. There's a difference. Like, he's like the Josh Rosen, but staying longer. Josh Rosen would have been done already, just like how he was. Sam Darnold's just getting chances because he played at UFC. He's got the arm talent. He's one of those, those UFC surfer guys. You got to give him a chance, dude. Like, he still got it, dude. Let's give him the chance, man. That's what it seems like, man. Those USC quarterbacks haven't produced much since Carson Palmer. So
yeah, and Darnold has this crazy arm talent. He does make a throw where you're like, damn, that was a good throw.
A couple of them.
Yeah, but then you also get like what was he thinking right there? So that's who he is. He's shown us. It doesn't matter who's the coach or not. Like he's shown us who he is. He played enough for us to know who he is. So
yeah. And I don't need to see enough from Brandon Allen. I've seen enough as it is. Like spot duty, bro. You're a spot garbage duty quarterback. You're not gonna get no reps, hopefully.
Man, we're just wishing that Purdy stays healthy. That's that's our only chance.
That's what we're praying for, because Brock Purdy staying healthy makes this offense even better. Or Darnold, it's kind of a mixed review. Let's not even go to the third no, please. No, I'm not going to even go there, because last year we went there. So let's pray. Let's pray for Brock Purdy to stay healthy for once.
Yeah.
I mean, we need this guy at 100%. I don't want it to be a fluke season, because we got no other choice but to support Brock, and we got to stick with this guy. This is the greatest story in the history of the sports. This guy was the last pick in the draft. He wasn't undrafted. He was the last pick in the draft.
Yeah, and I do believe in him. I just got to see it again.
I gotta see it too, and but that makes us fake fans, because we don't know about this kid. We're not sure. Oh, like, why do we have to be so mean about Brock Purdy? Why we gotta be so mean? Well, we gotta see more. Come on.
Yeah, 7 games is not enough for anybody.
We gotta see more. It doesn't mean that just because we criticize a player does not make us less of a football fan. But man,
didn't Nick Mullins break records?
Yeah, the O-line better block for reals. Yep. I just hope the O-line steps up, because that's what's going to determine our season, because of that offensive line. But I get a lot of these complaints from these fans, like, oh, just give Brock Purdy a chance, or go find another team, go to the Cowboys with Trey or the other. Come on, bro. Come on.
Brock is the guy.
He's our guy, but we just got to be critical.
Yeah.
Our tune will change. It'll change. It's just we got to see more. And let's not overlook the Pittsburgh Steelers. Faithful, let's not overlook the Pittsburgh Steelers. I see a lot of you guys overlooking them. They got a good defense. I think Kenny Pickett's going to break out this year. And don't be surprised if he is, because second-year quarterbacks tend to break out. He's got some weapons. And the defense is not a joke. So it's like, let's not underestimate the Steelers. It's in their home field. It's going to be a tough game.
I think it's going to be a tough game. They're at home. I think it's talent-wise is pretty even. They have talent over there.
Yep.
They have weapons for Kenny Pickett. They got 2 running backs. I mean, they don't have a Christian McCaffrey. But Najee Harris is decent. He's decent. But yeah, they got receivers over there, and they got another breakout dude. What's his name? The receiver from
George Pickens
from Georgia. Yeah, George Pickens. So
and they got Deontay Johnson, who
he's been productive in this league. So they have weapons, right? The tight end is an up and coming weapon. He's not George Kittle yet, but he's up and coming. So I think the talent wise, it's pretty even. But the Niners are the Niners, and they've been rocking together for some time now, and they've been playing together. So they definitely gotta bring that dub home.
I mean, Douglas, I hope you're right about this. I hope you're right about it. I'm not trying to overlook the opponents, man. I don't want to get too ahead of them, because that's thinking too ahead. Because let's see how our offensive line holds up. Let's see how our defense does, because Bosa's going to be a little rusty once he returns. So we got to see what happens. But it wouldn't surprise me how we start, because we always have those slow starts. You think this season is it gonna change this year, or are we gonna go back to those slow starts again?
Oh man, I don't know. I got to go back, but something is telling me like a lot of the slow starts had to do with injury. But hey, regardless, the Niners they've been starting slow, so it can't happen, because I think if we played that playoff game in Santa Clara, I think it's a little different, right? It's just a different. Yeah, it's a different advantage. So that should be the goal. You don't want to play Philly again in the playoffs.
No, it was a disaster. It was a disaster, dude. Yeah. Like, that was a disadvantage the way it ended. But you know what? You're right, man. We got to have it throughout the playoffs and Levi's, man. You want to know the record for the Niners at Levi's?
11-1. What is it?
No. The record in the playoffs for the Niners playing at Levi's. You want to know what the record is? Okay. Their first playoff game was against the Vikings. They won that one. The NFC Championship against the Packers. They won that one. Okay, let's see.
Dallas,
the Seahawks and Cowboys. So they're 4-0. They never lost at Levi's in the playoffs. We got to get a home field advantage throughout the playoffs. I think that's what gets us to the Super Bowl is to play at Levi's. NFC Championship, it has to be at Levi's. That's all I'm asking for. Can we have an NFC Championship game at Levi's?
So that means winning the games that you need to win. This is a game that you need to win. Yeah.
And that's what I'm feeling for, man. We got to get on a good start. And you know what can be a little concerning right now? Hufanga. I'm hearing something about the issue he has where it can be lingering. I don't know. Does that feel like manageable? Because I know he has to deal with something kind of like something on his calf or his knee area.
So I'm not too familiar with that injury. So I don't know, but it's concerning. It's concerning.
So do you think there's a good chance that Jair Brown might even have to go out there? Because I think that's what I think he plays pretty much that role pretty well, or even played that kind of role.
I think Jair will be out there regardless.
I think so too. But
I think he's going to get some type of playing time.
No, I think his role is going to increase if Hufanga misses some time with that knee issue or whatever.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, but I think as far as a fan concerned, bro, I just don't want the slow start. I want us to go on a hot start, just like how we started off in 2019. We had a hot start. We had home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Can we get back to that form at least?
Yeah.
I get that slow starts has to do with the injuries and stuff like that, but I think we're already getting past those injury bugs. I think it's only a few injury bugs we've been dealing with lately, but it's not that. I guess the kicker, I don't know, word on the street is we're working out some kickers, and we haven't even considered calling good old Robbie Gould, man. I don't know.
Yeah, do you think so? And unless it's for the rest of the year, I don't think Robbie Gould is gonna.
Yeah, I think he's done.
Yeah, so whoever we bring in, I don't think it's gonna be a permanent solution for the rest of the year.
Like a fill-in
for a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah, so, floater. Yeah.
So I think it'll be some no-name kicker, maybe.
Then he gets try out elsewhere.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense because Jake Moody should be back within the week or two. So
which is scary. He needs to be kicking and getting right, man, because he was kind of shaky out there.
So we can't even trade Zane Gonzalez at this point. We were thinking we were going to get some value out of this kicker, but nope. The injury just killed it.
Yeah.
Nothing's been going our way lately. The botch trades, the botch replacements. How does it get any worse, bro? I think our kicking game, I think as far as our season, I think this is going to be a bold prediction. I think our season will go as far as our kicker. I think that it will come down to it because I don't know what Jake Moody's going to be. We've seen the flashes, what he did on the Raiders and the Broncos. We don't know.
Yeah, that's tough. Rookie kicker.
Yeah, I'm hoping that he doesn't fail, but I'm thinking it will determine our kicker. Because what if it comes down to us at the 50-some yard line and we have to kick somewhere in between a 55 or somewhere around the, what is it like? We're at a position where we have to kick the 50-yard line. And the game's on the line.
I mean, he got the leg for it.
But can he be accurate?
Can he be accurate? And that's the $1 million question right there.
I think as far as I think we're pretty stacked, but I really do think it really determines our kicker. Yeah. Because I don't see nothing that kind of makes me feel like, oh, I'm not worried about our kicking game. I'm a little worried because with Jake Moody, bro, he should be able to make those kicks like he does in practice, but it seems like a different atmosphere for him.
Right. So hopefully he gets right. Hopefully he's healthy. Hopefully, he'll turn it around and, make us feel confident, putting him out there. Because what we saw in preseason, man. I mean, from what I heard, he was making all the kicks in practice, though.
That's all they talk about is practice, bro. But it's kind of atmosphere, like they say. But Since we're gonna have Danny Gray and Ray McLeod miss some time, I'm kind of wondering which receivers are we gonna bring on the roster. I'm guessing Willie Snead would probably make the most sense.
Yeah, it'd be Willie Snead or Conley.
One of the two, yeah, because it has to be good experience for them.
Yeah, so I guess Willie Snead because he has some type of return ability in him.
Yeah, and plus he can find his way to get back on the roster by making up some lies and say this is the next Drew Brees. Nah, what you did wrong, Willie. You're kind of just sucking up for the job, man. I get it. You want to get your paycheck. I get you. Much respect, but don't say he's another Drew Brees because you said that to Lamar Jackson.
And I don't know where that comparison came from. So
no.
I wouldn't call. I wouldn't call Drew Brees Lamar Jackson or vice versa. So
I would have just called Lamar Jackson Michael Vick because it's very similar skill set, very similar talent. Like they're very electrifying. Like if I wanted to go watch a game in person, I would like to see those guys play.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. When you think of Lamar Jackson playing football, isn't he the kind of guy that's worth watching?
Oh yeah, that's why I'm going.
Electrifying, kind of like your Michael Vick prime, man.
Yeah, that's why I will be at the December 25th game. So Christmas, I will be there.
Oh, dude, you're lucky you.
Yeah.
September 17th, I'm going down SoFi. Hopefully you come down there so we can chop it up and make a live video or just make a little quick video here and there and then just go kick it at the barbecue, whatever. Yeah. So you got plans for that or not?
I'm gonna try. I mean, I'm not gonna go. I'm probably gonna hit like 4 or 5 games this year.
Yeah, try to get the SoFi one, man.
I'll try. Yeah. It gotta make sense.
It's got to make sense for you, but
yeah, I don't really want to. Like the Rams don't have anybody. I don't want to go see anybody play on the Rams. So,
well, it's worth to see the takeover. You want to see all the red take over, right?
Yeah, I was there at the Tart game. I was at that game, so I've seen the takeover for sure.
It's got to be one of those games that you got to write on your calendar and say, "Hey, we got to take over LA."
Yeah, I might have to do that.
See, I'm convinced you, man. It's worth taking over, even though you said the Rams ain't worth watching. It's the Niners that's worth watching.
No, they're always worth watching, for sure.
So there's been some reports that's been going on with the Rams. Like Stafford's just not connecting with the young players, man. I don't know if there's any truth to that. That's crazy.
So I think it came from his wife, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like she has to know better, like not to.
He's a gossiper.
Yeah, you don't have to put that on your podcast. It just like either way. I mean, not that it's anything bad. Like Stafford, it could look bad on Stafford. She gotta know better than that. But no, that's funny because he is pretty much older than a lot of the receivers on that team. But he got Cooper Kupp, man. Like they
got that connection. So I think Cooper will be able to mentor those other young guys. I mean, they got this one kid from BYU who could be pretty raw. So they're a young team, so they'll probably just get something differently. But that's just like some players feel. They get a little bit distracted by that, but the crazy part is maybe you silence those doubts, but I feel like the interview with Braden's dad kind of got Braden's attention. Like, I didn't even think this guy was just going to reach out to me and say this. And then he just wasn't too fond of what his dad said. So he was like, no, there was like this interview I had with Braden's dad. And I guess from what he said, I'm not going to put it like kind of like the way he felt, but he felt like it wasn't necessary what his dad said. Because he said some of the facts were misinformation, but he says this is the reason why I don't really talk to so-and-so as much, but every now and then he'll catch up with them. But I don't know, bro. I'm just kind of just building content off of people, get to know them and all that. But I guess whatever was said was misinformation from what he said.
Yeah.
And the fact that he just reached out to me, it just tells you he was dead serious about what was said. I think he was too concerned with what was said behind the scenes.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Hey,
because he inboxed me. He inboxed me with some compliments. He complimented me about how I do my work and he appreciates the grind, but he wouldn't be in his way to do stuff like this. But he said, I don't appreciate what was said by my dad and all this stuff. So it was like, all right, I'm not going to try to get in the middle. I want to work well with both you guys. I want to get something good. I mean, his dad seems cool. He's like a laid back dude. He's going to go on vacation too.
Sounds like you had some reality TV on.
Yeah,
your
this
podcast.
guy dresses like he's like a player, bro. He's like a player from
That's
Dallas.
funny.
Player from Dallas, bro. Has that little fun lifestyle, bro. That dude's cool.
That's
Oh yeah, we'll have a safe Memorial Day. Hey,
Yeah,
but
for
I
sure.
guess we're getting on to the final last few minutes. Let's ask one more question. So for Josh, let me ask you something, man.
Mhm.
So if the Niners don't make the playoffs this year, does Kyle get on the hot seat or get fired?
I think so. Man, that's a good question. I think Kyle is a really good offensive coordinator. I think he's really good at with his play calls and things like that. But the business is the business. If they don't, with botching and butchering these 3 first-round draft picks to show for nothing, and you don't make the playoffs, I think that is the hot seat, and I think he would probably be let go. But I don't think that's going to be the situation.
Oh yeah, I mean, we're just saying hypothetically, like
hypothetically, yes. I mean, you have to look into that, and he would have to be on the hot seat, especially with this roster, this win now roster, this Super Bowl contending roster.
If he wins a Super Bowl, this would erase it. So
yeah,
or a winning season will keep him around. That's about it.
Yeah, we expect a winning season. We expect playoffs. We expect all that. But I think he has the roster to win a Super Bowl
right now.
Right? So he can literally compete with any other Super Bowl contending team's roster outside of they may have like this crazy good quarterback in that the superstar type quarterback the Niners might not have yet. But every other position they can contend with any other team in this league. So
I mean, I think we can beat any other AFC team except the Chiefs. I don't know. If you're gonna just underestimate Mahomes again, then I don't see it. But maybe the Bengals, maybe the Bills, maybe like other teams, like maybe the Baltimore Ravens. All we gotta do is just stop Lamar Jackson and hit him, just like the Chargers did in the playoffs. That's the blueprint.
We have trouble with
mobile quarterbacks, but we gotta hit them.
Yeah, that's tough. Mobile quarterbacks love playing the Niners.
Yeah, but the way how we gotta beat them is we gotta hit them.
Yeah.
But not hit them to intentionally not to injure them, but hit them to where they get the little little what's up and kind of get under their head a little bit.
Yeah, believe it or not, Lamar doesn't really get hit often.
Yeah, he doesn't, but whenever they get a chance, they got to take those hits on him just to get him a little bit of like, what's up, man? I'm going to be all day on you.
Yeah, that's why December 25th, man.
That's going to be a good game, hopefully.
No, I agree, Douglas.
Super Bowl fire him. That's what I'm saying. Like, if I had the Vince McMahon's voice where he says, "You're fired."
Well, I don't know. I mean, if we have another good season at NFC Championship, I don't think
he'll stay around for a little while.
He'll stay around. But
I think the expectation is Super Bowl. I mean,
he's
been around longer.
Yeah, we need to get a Super Bowl.
This roster is going to start to become it's going to eventually decline and rebuild at some point. So he has to capitalize, or else it's going to take a couple years for us to get back to where we were. But I believe this is the year where we have to get further. Damn, banana hands. Yep, banana hands is what it is, man. But Peeps talking about Nick Bosa not being in football shape. Well, he doesn't. He just has to show up. That's all it is.
No, yeah, and we know Bosa is going to be in shape. I'm just like, when I refer to his shape, I'm talking like the soft tissue, quick twitch type things.
Yep. That's where it gets a little concerning a little bit, because if you're not in game shape, it's going to really get you some of those hamstrings and those other tissues and all that stuff. So, but I think
we know Bosa is he's a warrior, right? He's an animal. Like, we know he's going to be in shape.
We know the shape is not a problem. We just got to talk about the game shape and all that stuff. So Boo Boo gonna be ready. Well, we got to give the Steelers we got to show the world that Pittsburgh, hey, you got film on Brock Purdy. Let's see what you got. You got a few weeks to get ready. You got like less than 2 weeks to prepare. So let's see what Pittsburgh got. I'm not underestimating the Steelers. I think they're a good, solid squad. But I want to see how Brock does. I don't want it to be the flash of the pan, the Jimmy G vibe again. I want to see Brock Purdy become the greatest story of all time. So I want to see. Yeah. But as far as all that, I believe we covered a lot of stuff today, bro. We'll look forward to next week. But for everybody else, thank you guys for tuning in. Hey, but before we end the show, tell everybody where they can find your social media platform and tell them what you do lately, my guy.
So you can find me on Twitter, jharp the second. It's in my screen thing right there. And then my YouTube channel is on there as well. So go ahead and subscribe and like, and so also subscribe and like to Ruthless and Harp show and Ruthless's channel as well. So
yeah, we'll work on something. Maybe we'll do a little extra show because I see you working on another project. Maybe on your other free time, we'll probably do a little recap quickly shows sometimes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but for everybody else, go check out Josh Harper TV. Get this guy his 100 subs. Let's get him up to the goal. Follow him on Twitter. He's almost close to 5,000 followers, man. Give this guy a follow, man, or else I'm going to chase you guys. I had to do that. But for everybody else, thank you guys for tuning in. And as always, go Niners.